Welcome to Write to Publish, your go-to podcast for all things writing and publishing. I'm Karen Stanley, a 14 times published author and the founder of Mabelandstanley Publishing. Join me as I share a multitude of tips and insights drawn from my own writing and publishing journey. We'll be hearing from some inspirational authors too, who will share their writing experiences and top tips for success. Each week, we'll learn about an aspect of writing, from composition to genre and from publishing to marketing. Listen in as we learn and chat about all things writing and publishing, and let's get you on the right path. Hello and welcome to another episode of Write to Publish. Wherever you are in the world, I hope it's a lovely sunny day and that life is treating you well. So this week I wanted to talk to you about lead magnets as a method of marketing yourself as an author. Now, I've had a conversation this morning with a gentleman about his book, and he was under the impression, first of all, that traditional publishers might do all of your marketing. And we had a long chat about how, unfortunately, as the author, the marketing is always going to be down to you, whether you're with a big publisher, a small publisher, somewhere in between. Primarily, unless you are a really famous name or a household name, the marketing is going to be down to you. Even HarperCollins, Harlequin, all of those big publishers. The reason they won't do your marketing for you is because, as I explained this morning, it's not a one and done process. It's a long haul type process. It takes dedication, it takes commitment, it takes consistency, it takes trial and error, it takes a lot of kind of blood, sweat and tears. And unfortunately, publishers are not going to put all of that effort into someone who's got no track record. So once you've got a track record, once you've sold loads of books, once you've got a bit of a name for yourself, or you've got a really good following on your socials, then you might get a bit more support with marketing, but not always. So primarily, the marketing is always going to be down to you. It's always going to be your job as the author. And I do actually think, in some cases, particularly when I talk to my business book writing clients, they're the best placed to market their book because they've got contacts in the industry within which they work. They've got lots of clients who might be their ideal reader. They might be doing speaking gigs or trying to get onto stages doing speaking gigs. I mean, if you write a book and then you get a speaking gig on the back of that book, you've got your audience literally captured in a room, ready to hang on your every word. That's the great way to market your book. And I don't think anyone could do that for your book as well as you can, particularly if you've written a business book. If you've written fiction, then it's about creating a persona for yourself as well, getting people to like you, to engage with you, getting them on your side. People buy from people after all, don't they? So it's not necessarily just your product or your book. They'll get engaged with you. They'll be motivated or inspired or find you relatable, and they'll think, you know what? Yeah, I really want to read that person's book. And that works for fiction and non-fiction. It's the same thing. There are lots and lots of ways in which you can market yourself. And this isn't going to be an awfully long episode today because I thought we'd just tackle the different marketing streams in one at a time rather than try and bombard you with them all together. So there's loads of ways in which you can market your book. Obviously, the increase of use of social media is a great free tool for you to market your book. You can do things like book launches and book events and book tours. There's loads and loads of ways that you can market your book. But today, I just wanted to briefly talk about lead magnets. And I'm sure all of you out there will have heard this term. If you're not fully au fait with what it means, I shall enlighten you. So a lead magnet is something that you put out for free, which entices people into your marketing funnel, okay? And why do we want to do that? Because we want to collect their email addresses and get them onto our mailing list. Now, if you're anything like me, I kind of grit my teeth and shudder a bit at the mention of emails. I'm not a big fan of receiving them. I'm not a big fan of sending them. However, I would say there are a few emails that I get regularly from people that I've subscribed to that I absolutely love opening and I really look forward to. So what you need to do is you need to get to that position where people look forward to your emails. You have to think very carefully about what you send them, but that's we can talk about that a little bit later. And the other reason you want to get people into your email list is you might have 20,000 followers on your Facebook page and you think, great, I've got all these people eating out the palm of my hand. They're loving my content. They're loving my snippets from my books and my readings and all the stuff that I'm doing. And then suddenly Facebook goes down, or you get hacked, or something happens and you've lost those 20,000 followers. What that means then is you've not got access to those people at all. They've gone into the ether, can't find them, you don't know where they are, they're all hiding. So what you want to do is you want to have your backup will be your email list. And lots of business entrepreneurs and business people will tell you the money is in the list. So yes, it's wonderful to have a social media following. It's wonderful to have thousands and thousands of followers on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever your chosen platform. But what you want is you want to create a base of raving fans, as it were, for your book. And to do that, you need to get their email addresses, and then you need to nurture that list by sending out regular, usually like weekly emails, to get them to further know, like and trust you. And also then, if you write a second book, you've got a group, an audience of people who are going, oh yay, I love their first book, I'm really up for the second one. And when you launch your book, you've got 500 people in your list. You could sell, 200 copies on the launch day, which will really, really help towards your bestseller status if you're publishing on Amazon. So there's lots of reasons why having an emailing list is a good idea. You want to be able to know who those readers are, know who those really effectively warm leads, aren't they? Because if they've come into your list, they're a warm lead. They're not cold. They're interested in you. They've kind of pricked up their ears and thought, yeah, this person could be someone I'd like to engage with. So they're already dipping their toe into the water of your little marketing pond, if you like. So that's why you want to get people's email addresses so that you can nurture them. You can keep in regular contact with them. You can find out how they're doing. You can find out what their pains and challenges are. If they've got any questions, if there's something they're really looking for, you can run little competitions. If you're writing fiction, you could have a little competition to, choose the next character name in your book. If you're writing a business book, then it's a perfect way to upsell to your other services. So say, for example, you've written a book about marketing strategy, and hey ho, you just so happen to have a marketing strategy planning program, then of course your book is the perfect lead magnet for that. And then your emails, you can nurture them, you can tell them a bit more about yourself, you can give them some testimonials, you can give them some social proof for your credibility, and then you can start to drop in offers like, oh, did you know I've got this coming up? Or did you know I've got this really great author event, you might want to come? Or did you know I offer speaking about my book for X, Y, and Z, or whatever it might be. So that's why you want them in your list. You want to be able to nurture them. You want to stay in contact with them. You want them to be not a long lost relative, but like a granny you pop round and see once a week for a cup of tea. So that's why you want them into an email list. So what you do, so how are you going to get people into that email list? And that is where we come back to you creating a lead magnet. And that really is some form of way of collecting, of capturing those email addresses. There's several ways you can do it. Typically I've done it through MailChimp, which is it's like a mailing platform. Lots of you will have heard of that. And I create my lead magnet, and then I have a link to a sign up form. So we'll talk about what types of lead magnets you can do in a minute, but on your lead magnet, you'll have a link to the sign up form. You know what it's like yourself when you sign up for things. You click the link, it takes you to another page, you fill in your email addresses, and then hey ho, the thing that you've bought or signed up for drops into your email inbox. And then the person who sent you that free thing will then have your email addresses, and you will have agreed to subscribe to their list. Of course, you can unsubscribe at any time. And one word to the wise, I would say, when people unsubscribe, don't feel too aggrieved, don't feel too upset. It means that they probably weren't going to buy from you. So actually what you want is you want an emailing list of people who are really engaged, who are likely to become customers or likely to buy from you, rather than a load of people who just get your emails because they've forgotten to unsubscribe. So don't take that too personally. It's actually better to have a few engaged subscribers than loads of people who aren't interested. That was just a little digression there. So you can do it in MailChimp. Lots of people these days have been saying to me, ConvertKit is very useful for doing that. Go High Level. There's several. It's about you. MailerLite, I think, does the same thing. So it's about you having a mailing program. You might have something embedded on your website. I'm not a technical guru in that form, but there's lots of programs and platforms you can use to collect emails via a sign up form or some form of landing page, which is basically a one-page website typically, that gets people to sign up. They come into your list, and then they'll probably be sent a series of automated responses that send them out their lead magnet, the thing that they've signed up for, and then you can pledge to email them, on a Friday or a Tuesday or whenever it is you would like to do it. So what should we do now then? Let's talk about what kind of lead magnets you can have. There's loads of different lead magnets you can have, and it really is about you offering a freebie or something of value that makes the person want to sign up. Okay, so it could be, for terms of an author, it could be the first chapter of your book, for example. It could be your newsletter that you send out once a week to keep your audience abreast of your writing progress and what you've been writing this week, or what's been going on in your writing world, or what your deadlines are. Or you could give them a sign up form for one of your services, like a free cheat sheet. So say, for example, you've written a business book about marketing. You could ask them to say, download my free cheat sheet, which gives you the 8 steps you'll need to create your content strategy, for example. You could offer, the chance to book a discovery call with you if you're a business writer. If you're a fiction writer, it could just be simply that you want to keep your audience updated with what's going on, or it might be, subscribe to my newsletter and receive my next book at 10% off or something like that. So there's lots and lots. You could, if you're a business person, you could do a podcast. I mean, that's kind of what I email out to my list, like, hey, next podcast episode is up, and I talk about all the different things that I've got going on. And then that way as well, if I've got a book out or something like that, I can promote it on that podcast. But you want people to be signing up because they're interested in you, they're interested in what you're offering, and giving them something of value. So it could be a downloadable PDF, could be a little video, it could be the first chapter of your book, it could be something to say, would you like exclusive access to the plot line for my next book, or the outline for my next book? Or you could, like I said earlier, you could run a little competition. Would you like to be in with a chance to win a book hamper from me, and help me choose the title for my next book, for example? Or would you like to be a character in one of my stories? Enter my competition, and we'll see if you can be the name of the detective in my next novel will be yours, that kind of thing. So have a look online as well at other authors, and you'll start to see things differently now. I know I did when I first learnt about lead magnets. Whenever anyone puts out an ad or puts out a post that says, have my free download, or have my free PDF, or would you like, this access to this free training video, now what they're doing. They are putting out a lead magnet. They're fishing. They're trying to catch a little fish, get it to get a little nibble, and then once they've got you into their world, they will be nurturing you with their email sequence, and you'll either stay in it because you think their emails are amazing, or you think, no, this isn't for me, and you'll probably unsubscribe. Once you've done that, then obviously you do need to pledge to keeping them updated. I would say once a week is plenty. Even once a fortnight is kind of okay, actually. It depends on what you can commit to. And really the thing about that is you want a great subject line, something that makes them open the email. The emails don't want to be too long, plenty of white space to break it up so that it doesn't overwhelm people when they open it. And don't forget to include any links to your Facebook group, for example, if you run a free Facebook group, or to your podcast episodes, or your training video, or whatever it is where you want them to go. And that's it, really. That's lead magnets in a nutshell. Very, very powerful way for authors to promote their books. And like I said before, people buy from people. So how many of us have bought a book just because it's by a certain person that we like to read? Or how many of us have watched a film because our favourite actor is in it? Or how many people have, I don't know, we have favourites, don't we? We have a favourite takeaway restaurant, we have a favourite hairdresser, we have a favourite author, we have and we have those favourites because we really resonate with what that person is offering. It might be just because of the quality, but it might be also a little something about the person that's offering it themselves, or it might be about their style, or it might be about their messaging or their ethos. Okay, so think about what it is your readers want. You can research that. You can go, there's a great site called answerthepublic.com, and if you go on there and type in, you could put something like, what questions are readers asking about science fiction, for example, and then it will give you all the questions that the public are asking about that topic, and that will really help you to create a lead magnet that appeals to the pains and challenges of your audience. Okay, so it needs to be something that your audience wants. Ask some of your readers, if you've already got some readers, and say, if I was to offer a freebie, what would you find enticing? What would you want to download? Or what would you want to find out about me? You could put a post out and say, I'm an author, I'm looking to give some value to my readers. What things would you like to know about me? And you might get people might come back and say, well, I'd love to know how often you write, or I'd love to know how you come up with your character ideas. And there you've got your free downloadable, haven't you? You've got your free PDF. If you're a business writer, it's even easier. You say you're offering, I don't know, villas in Turkey. What would you need to know if you were buying a villa in Turkey? And you can either do it on answerthepublic.com, or you can just ask your audience, or you can just ask previous clients, what would be a great kind of catch. I'm writing this book on how to buy a property in Turkey for people who don't know what to do. What would have helped you out, when you were first looking? Good research for your book, and also gives you a really good idea of what people are looking for. So what are their pains and challenges? What is it that they need an answer to? What answers are they looking for? Because what you want to do is you want to offer something to them that clearly addresses a problem that they have, or a solution that they need. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about anything that I've spoken about today in this podcast, you can always find me on Facebook, Instagram at mabelandstanley Publishing, or you can email me directly, mabelandstanley@outlook.com. Get in touch. Please do ask your questions. I love to hear about them. And I've got quite a few free groups and community groups in particular, that if you are writing and you're a bit stuck along the way, or you want to come and join in some of my Q&A sessions, particularly my Mabel and Stanley writing and publishing group, I do those every Thursday, the last Thursday of every month. If you're not a member already and you would like free access for this month, please do get in touch, and I'm very happy to offer it to you for this month, just so you can see what you'll be missing if you don't join. Have a wonderful week. If you've been listening on the replay, thank you. Or if you've been listening live, or when it goes out on a Thursday morning, thank you. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you all again soon.